Welcome to another episode of Opening Doors with Annette. I am super excited, as I always am. I have two huge hearts that are part of CARES in Farmington, the Campus of Hope. So welcome to the two beautiful souls.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
so excited you guys are here. We're going to be talking about one of the biggest fundraisers here at CARES, and you two are literally the leadership for that. So let's start with introductions.
Okay.
I'm Andrea. I work for CARES, obviously, and I am in charge of community engagement.
Awesome, Andrea.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Miller, and I help out with volunteers and special events and fundraising.
Of course, you can see by just talking to you why you two are in charge of the annual duck race for CARES. So tell us, when is this coming up?
Great. It is coming up Wednesday, August 5th, and it's at Shiawassee Park. It starts at 3, and it's really a fun family day. We have many things for the whole family to do, as well as the duck drop at 6 o'clock.
Yes, and that's the big finale, right? That's when the big bag of ducks goes way, way up with the crane, right?
Yeah,
Right.
you have to see it to believe it.
You have to see it to believe it because they're all in like this netting, right? And it goes all the way up with the crane, which that of course is a volunteer company that has supported CARES. And then they drop those ducks into the river.
8,000.
Yeah.
8,000 ducks.
8,000.
And counting.
Do you remember what we were at last year?
Well, it was about 8,306 or
Yeah.
something
So if we
like that.
went over 8,306, it would be better. I mean, every ticket sold, it represents one little yellow rubber duck with a sticker on the bottom. It's your ticket number, and that is your chance to win a ton of great prizes donated by local businesses.
Yeah, and it's neat to know too that these little guys, I always love them, is that when they get dropped in, I always have like this visual that every single one of them are like working towards the mission and vision of what we do here at CARES.
An
Because
analogy.
it's true. So if you want your own personal duck that you can watch go down the stream, this is the event to get it. And as well as feeding our 1,000 families that every single month that you guys are seeing come in that door.
Yeah, over 900 households a month that come to CARES for additional food support.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And the duck race puts food on the shelves for 6 months. So that's something to consider. So you think your $5 doesn't matter. Your $5 plus your 10 friends' $5 really helps out to put food on the table.
So let's reel it back a little bit, right? How did the two of you get connected with CARES? Andrea, why don't you go first?
So, well, I think it was about 2022. I've always enjoyed volunteering, and I took some time off from volunteering when COVID hit, and I was home with my kids who were younger, and life was getting back to normal. So I honestly just looked up online, places that I could start getting involved again, and I found CARES. Lo and behold, Kitty Ostash, who's the assistant director of CARES, is actually a personal friend, and I did not realize that this was Kitty's place. But it is, and she draws you in. So
She has a way, there's like
Yeah.
a sound that you hear. It's like,
yeah, as
yeah,
soon as
you're all of a sudden there.
yes,
You go from
yes.
your house to the CARES campus.
Yeah, she's a personality that makes you want to stick by her. So,
Yeah.
alas, I have stayed on since then.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Andrea, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for what you do here at CARES.
You're welcome.
'Cause
It's my pleasure.
it's just incredible. As much as I give to CARES, I get back from CARES. And I'm sure you probably feel that as well.
I think anybody who gets involved with CARES feels that way. Whether you actually work for CARES, whether you come here and volunteer on the weekly, the monthly, it has a nice effect.
It does. It does. So tell us your story. How did you get connected?
Well, it was the church I raised my family in. So when I was looking around for a church, it was the most welcoming church. And I raised the 4 kids here. My daughter got married here. I always point that out. My other 2 daughters cracked up on the altar when they were doing prayers of the faithful during the
So are your
wedding.
memories.
Yes. So everything connected with a faith that I wanted to raise my children in was here. I kind of was early retirement, not on my own. A company I worked for was sold. I wasn't ready to be done. I looked around. I came here. I did some fundraising before I knew and benefited CARES. And then I came in and I actually got to meet Kitty and Andrea and thought, I want to join them. And that's basically what it was.
These are my people.
Yeah, this is where I want to be. And our office is about the size of this table. And we
I've seen that
yeah.
office.
And not only that, but we welcome guests in and people in, and they all want to be there because it is where things are happening. It is where people are deciding to donate. People want to give money. People want to be part of that. But we're asking, like, what companies can we go after? How is it going? Who are we talking to? And so it is a great, I was going to say, core of raising money and taking care of cares. With that, the guests are our number one priority, but followed second by our volunteers, because without them, we wouldn't be anything. We have 167 volunteers. And so it is a give back community. When you walk in, you feel it because it's not like a job. People want to be there. People love being there. They fight for their shifts. They say, I want to work 3 days. Let me work 3 days. So it's great.
Well, it
It's
gives
wonderful.
people purpose,
Yeah.
right? It's, they feel like they're making a difference because they are making a
Yeah.
difference.
Mhm.
And you guys have this way about you when you walk in that you're just so welcoming and so caring and compassion, that just fills the space. So coming there
Thank you.
as a as a client, it's so important that these people aren't getting this type of experience in other places, or if they are, it's a fraction of it,
Mhm.
because I know even the enthusiasm that really kind of rains down from the top all the way down, is what people are really getting, that experience of being on the CARES campus. And both of you are those faces. I remember when we started 9 years ago, and Todd told me there was a food pantry that was struggling because the Catholic Church was closing, and that's where you come in. That's your history of going to the Catholic Church, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and so you are so connected, really, even before CARES was even part of the story,
Right.
right? And so, and to see and have memories in that space, and then now, as your life has changed, your life journey has gone in a different direction, as all of our journeys do in the world. Now you have fit that place that's so important to you in your heart now into a totally different realm, doing very similar work, right? Taking care of others, people that are vulnerable, and really impacting yourself and the people that you're serving. So I love those stories. And that's why we always ask, like, how did you get connected to CARES? Because every single volunteer, if we went right down the row of 167, even starting from our executive director, Todd Lippa, he'll explain to you how he is connected to CARES. And it gives you so much back that you give. And so, of course, this duck race, this is one of the number one fundraisers that we have. I think it's the funnest. And I think that it's fun because, like you said, it's a family event. There's so much going on. So let's list all of the things. So even though everyone wants to come to see the ducks in the river, we have music, correct?
The Killer Flamingos.
Yeah, Killer Flamingos.
I know, that's awesome.
We bring in talent.
Yeah.
We don't start down here. We're bringing in the top. So Killer Flamingos is playing there, and we have kids activities,
Yes.
right? So name some of the kids activities.
Go ahead.
We have a face painting tent with 4 professional face painters that'll be there doing face painting for free. We have Carousel Acres that's bringing in a petting farm.
What?
A really large petting farm. So that should be real.
What
a
are
lot of
the
fun.
animals? Do we know?
Ooh, well, there were so many of them this
It's
year.
like a sheep and
An alpaca,
okay,
rabbits.
okay.
I think they said ducks. Honestly, it was like 5 to 8 different types of animals that were coming.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Legacy Reptile House, they're coming. And so
Okay.
they'll do the reptiles. You'll be able to pet a snake if you want to, hold a snake, do this. They're doing
if
a
you
show.
want to, is a disclosure, right?
If you want to, they're doing a great job with that. The
Love it.
firemen will be there if you want to dress up as a fireman, shoot the hose, do a bounce house. And all of this is free. All of this, you can bring your family down, and there's something for everybody. There's story time.
The Nutty Scientist will be there
The
putting on
Nutty
a show.
Scientist.
Oh, I
the
love
road,
that.
the road less traveled in downtown Farmington. They're doing a
Oh,
story
the
time.
bookstore. The bookstore, yeah. Coffee shop.
And then we also have
They're a
other.
phenomenal soul supporter.
Yeah, and I was going to say we also have one of our partners called Crowded Kitchen. They're going to be selling their cookbook during this time period. We have our other corporate sponsors that you could walk around, see the Nissan cars, Fox Buick, plus food, lots of food. Do you remember all the Wetzel's
the food.
Pretzels?
Oh yeah, food trucks.
Food trucks.
Yeah, we have Traveling Tom's Coffee coming, Kona Ice, Wetzel's Pretzels.
Oh, I love those ices.
Taco.
Olive Time Catering.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots of food, lots of activities, and so on and so on.
Yes.
There's just so much. And so, of course, parking is always a concern, right?
Right.
So as long as they can park up on the hill, is that
Right.
where we're directing people to
So
park at?
at Saros,
Mm-hmm.
yep, the park up there will have people assisting up that way. That would be the best way. So
Well, and if you live in our area, right, you could walk there, which
Yeah,
is, that's
absolutely.
the most amazing thing, because being in Shiawassee Park, it literally sits in the middle and is surrounded by our two cities, one community to support this event.
And if you haven't bought your duck ticket yet, we still will be selling duck tickets there. So $5.
So the day of.
Day of.
So
Up
you
until
buy,
an hour ahead.
I give you $5.
You get a duck, one
A
of these
duck,
little rubber ducks.
And then that duck is going to get thrown into already all of the
Yep.
other ducks.
Exactly.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, do you guys know, how do they juggle the ducks? Like, is it
They
throw-
just drop it. And when they're in the river, then we do have somebody with a hose sending them down the way.
Okay. All right. I'd like that job.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm signed up.
Yeah, okay.
I'm signed up to be volunteer. Who do I got to
Okay,
talk
yeah,
to get the
exactly.
hose
Me.
job?
No.
Okay. Of course, it's
We
one
can
of the
be
two
bought.
of you.
We
Yeah.
can be bought.
So there is a story about a net in this river. I don't know if you've heard of it or you
No.
saw it.
Please share.
Yeah. So I was the duck gatherer, right, of the loose little guys and girls that decided that they weren't going to go down the river, right?
Yes.
And I
On our
had to-
sign at Genius, we call it the Duck Warden.
Okay, the duck. Oh, now you guys gave it a title.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that title for me, because it is very interesting with my personality. It seems kind of accurate. So, and so I was gathering ducks. Well, one of the things in the river is we have like holes,
Yeah.
right? And so I was gathering little ducks, doing my thing, doing what I was supposed to be doing, and I fell in the hole.
Oh, no.
Right? Just all of a sudden, it was like the earth opened and swallowed me up. And then I came up like Rocky.
Oh,
And so it was so funny. They had it on video. And I felt, you had two choices, right? One is do I just go with it and this is the way it is? Or one is it's devastating, right? I went with it because at the end of the day, it was the duck race. Everybody's having fun. Everybody comes in wherever they're at, shorts, t-shirts, comfortability. They're just celebrating our community and helping our community to move forward. And I always share that story because if I can get through that, you can get down to the day of the ducks and come no matter how you are, how you feel, whatever the weather is, you're going to have a great time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well said.
it's one of those things that I just really, really enjoy this event. Not that other events are, not as fun, but this is just really, it impacts so many people.
It's the largest event for families in Farmington Hills. So if
Wow.
you think about that, it's the largest event for families in Farmington Hills, and it's all free. And if you want to buy a $5 duck, we would love that, and you're doing good. So
if they want to buy a ticket before the duck race, where can they get those tickets?
in our market here at CARES
Okay.
and the Farmington and Farmington Hills Library.
Perfect.
Yep,
Yeah.
they're selling them at All About Women in downtown Farmington. They are selling them at Maxima Salon in Livonia. I think there's a couple other.
Yeah.
They actually have an interactive map that's going up on the CARES website that can
Okay.
show you where you could find tickets.
And when you're on that website, there's actually a game,
Yes,
right? A duck race game.
it does.
So they can actually be entertained as well as buying a duck ticket or going to see where they can go buy a duck ticket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So we have a great tradition here on the podcast is we always ask our guests, if you got to visit or see a younger version of yourself, what would you tell that person? And for you, we want to kind of spin it a little bit different is that what would you tell yourself when you actually came to CARES? Would you have done anything differently?
I would have started earlier.
Okay.
I would have went with that. Why not? Why not pick up the phone and call and find out about CARES just a little bit earlier than I did? There was, a good solid year of work that I could have been a part of that, I waited until 2022. Why didn't I start in 2021? So just why not get involved?
I love that.
Yeah. That is great. Why not? So all of those things that we look back and have regrets. And I would say coming to CARES, I have very few regrets because looking for something to do in retirement, I got to be with people. I got to use my talents. I got to use my time. I got to do good. So it was a well benefited, it checked all the boxes and it gave me back way more than I gave. So that's great.
Awesome. And once again, thank you so much for everything that you do here at CARES. And I know you know how much impact you're making, but actually having someone acknowledge the value that you guys are bringing, not only to CARES, but also our community. For me personally, and all of my viewers, we see you. And we see the leadership that you're bringing here to our community. And we are so thankful that you're a part of it.
Oh,
Thank you. We're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And the way that you guys have fun.
We do. We do have fun. Yeah.
We do have fun.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, at the end of the day, I am super excited for you guys to get on the website, buy your duck ticket, come down and spend the afternoon with us at Shiawassee Park on August 5th.
Wednesday.
It's on my calendar, but I don't know what date that was. Until the next episode, thank you again for tuning in.